I hadn't unmuted the mic. Yes. Hello, everyone. Long time no see. Hello, Raven. Hello, Helen. Hello, Becky. Yeah, so long time no see. I don't know. Just haven't. Well, I mean, I've had the time, but every time I thought about streaming or throwing something on, it was just a bit later than I wanted it to be. So, yes, today we are playing some Stanley Parables. I don't know really anything about the game. I've seen like a clip or two, and like I get there's a narrator and Stanley, I guess, but that's all I really know. I don't like. I get the humor's a bit like dry as well, and it's about choices, I guess. But yeah, I don't actually know much about it. Prepare for sass. I know this game well. Okay. Yeah, as far as I can glean, it's like in Portal that you've got GLaDOS always over your shoulder, but instead it's just a sassy narrator, I guess. So yeah, let's load it up and just get on with it. It is the Ultra Deluxe edition. I don't know if that is anything particular, but it was on sale on Steam just after I got my Twitch payment from all you lovely people giving me subs and stuff. So I thought I'd put it straight back in and get a game that I can play on stream for you guys. So Raven got impeccable taste. Yes, also prepare for many endings. Oh, good. Right. Let's click over to action. Hi, Soul. Hello, Rubber Ducky. Oh, everyone's turning up for once. It's nice. But yes, Stanley Parables. Don't know much about it. Here we go. Please choose a screen subtitle. Okay, yeah. Where's my mouse gone? There it is. I don't need subtitles. They're just distract from visuals, I think. Have you played the Stanley Parables before? No. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. And that'll do. Hello, Mother Trucker. Please enter your current time. Can it not figure that out from... Oh, it's PM. Okay. Oh, for fuck's sake. Nope. What time is it? Yeah, 5:30. No, 5:30 PM. Let's put 5:31 because by the time we... let's wait for the one. We can talk for a minute, right? Hello, how are you? I'm staring at a clock waiting for the one. Yep. There it is. Grabbing a whiskey. It's Friday. Nice. Note, accessible settings can be accessed from the main menu. Okay. Is volumes all good so far? Not that... Ooh. That's a little loud for me, but I can turn it down in my headset. You are playing the Stanley Parables Ultra Deluxe. Begin the game settings for desktop. Oh, look. It's layers upon layers. Okay. I guess begin.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders
Right.
came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Ah, job satisfaction is always
And then one
important.
day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Ooh, okay, that sensitivity is quite high. Stanley has a strong neck, apparently. Controls. Simplified controls. That's key bindings. Try that. I like how it's all type sound effects. So, Stanley stepped out of his office. Did he now? Does he have to step out of his office? Or can I look around first? Stanley has no legs. Or anything else for that matter. Unless Stanley is actually hanging from the ceiling. No. So zoom in. Oh, just clicking does that. Ooh, okay, there's a crouch. I hate Mondays. What time is it here? Is it? Okay. Not the time that we set, but... Hello? I don't think it's like a scary game, so I don't know why everyone's missing. Go to door 420. Okay, fine. Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yes. Not that I've ever missed a memo before, but... I like work. I just hate my boss. Yeah.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Okay. Don't really have a activation button. Don't know how deep this game is. I don't know if I should be like looking for things or trying every door.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Alright, okay, fine. I get the point. I still got to touch things. Just to be awkward. Give me sass as well. We've only just started. Ooh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right. I mean, not right, but left. I guess this is where we start testing the game, I guess. I mean, we could do exactly what we're told. But let's see if the narrator has anything to say. Does Stanley know where the meeting room is? What if I go in the left and go back out to the right? No! Oh! Stanley! Okay. I wanted to try a new chaos. Well, we've been a good boy. So hopefully we won't get too much sarcasm.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Do not auto out. Meeting room, floor 4XX. I mean, what time is it? Oh, it's time for the office party, apparently. Maybe that's where everyone is. It's a surprise party for me. Oh, that looks bright. Can I jump? No. B1 quarterly, close review, revenue, blah, blah, blah. I'm sure there's loads of more water coolers, heaters. Okay. What do people want? Things. Stuff. Things. As our old Rick Grimes used to say. What is hot? Target demographic. Teenagers. In before Stanley realizes everyone's but him got raptured. Okay. Ah, yes. The net. To catch teenagers here. Coloured in segment. Yes. What is this? Stripes. Okay. How to solve a dispute with a co-worker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive-aggressively on other co-workers. Resent co-work. Oh, that sounds about right. I've never worked in an office, but this all seems on the nose. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Everyone is unique. Synergy, core values. Shift global market preparation. Monetize route to pay. God. Bit too real. Get Chris out of the room closet. Okay. Stanley shuts all the doors. Oh. Chris! Chris, are you in the
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track. There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
I don't believe you. Chris is in here somewhere. He said it in the other room.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Right. I bet there is something in one of these places. Your sarcasm is a disguise.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
There's no door to shut on the stairs, so... Oh, that looks ominous. That's a door, though. Don't shut. I just want to peek.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours.
Yeah, that's
he
exactly.
might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
No, you don't tell me what to do.
How could it be? Was Stanley simply
I want to see how far this goes.
Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just...
Am I having an existential crisis?
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
There better not be jump scares.
I am okay.
Oh, I was actually expecting that to be like an ending just because I stood here.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Well. Okay. I guess life number... I'm going to tally these down. Life number 1. We died by having an existential crisis in a tiny car park of 1 car. In fact, let me just alt-tab to my little thing. I think I can mark the timeline. There we go. And let's make sure this is on game rather than that. Right. Oh, right. So, yeah, Becky already says do it or else. It feels like the voice actor enjoyed this work. Yeah, you can tell he had a great time.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I wonder if anything changes on the repeats. It would be mad if it did.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I think we'll continue with what we did before. Just because I'm now curious about that car park.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
There's not a single person here either.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
Can't believe
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Let's go up to my boss's office. Oh, look, a wardrobe.
No, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Okay. Come on, narrator. You go. Few spins, 360 no scope, job done. Oh, he's waiting me out. No, we can do this. Okay, fine, you win.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Guess the red was a bit of a warning light.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that.
Okay.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
He would.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue.
Oh,
he just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Uh-oh.
Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
I feel like I'm playing that other corridor game.
I suppose I'll wake up
See
soon.
the differences
back
each
to
time.
my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whee.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Okay,
now
I think
the voice was describing itself being considered
we're about
by
to have another
Stanley,
existential
who found
crisis.
it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course,
I think we're
this
about
was
to
not
die
a
again.
dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
It's quite hard to actually
After
speak
all,
over the narrator
he knew
as
for
well.
certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in
Very
fact a dream. Did the voice not see him
authoritative.
float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a
backwards.
part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back. The fresh air
Another
of the
game
world
you should play
outside
after this.
one.
Super,
Let me wake up,
super.
he
I
thought
can't
to
read that.
himself. I'm through with this
Oh,
dream.
subliminal.
I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my
I will
job.
look after.
Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please.
I want to push the buttons.
It's
I don't
all
want to die.
I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All
want
I
my
want
mechanical
is my
keyboard.
life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
He's so normal. He's
I
abnormal.
am okay.
I'm not okay. Am I okay? Blast!
Stanley began screaming.
Yep.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Are we dead again?
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
I guess.
But
I
on
don't
this
want to begin
particular
the game
day,
again.
her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
I don't know
who
if
had
that, like,
stumbled through
resets
town
everything.
talking and screaming to himself, and then
Like how
collapsed
he
dead
sort
on
of
the
knew I'd been in
sidewalk.
the cupboard before.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
I do feel like this
Everyone
must
knows
be
what
in the
crazy
same
people
universe
look
as Portal.
And in that moment,
seems the same
she
sort of
thought to
insane.
herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real.
In fact, this is
and
called
what
the
isn't. It was
Mariella
comforting to
ending.
think this,
Well, that
and
makes
in
sense.
a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting
Skill
she had
click, though.
scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the
How many
rest of her
endings are
life.
there?
She
Or
had no
confirmed
time
at
for this.
least.
So it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
You go get him, Mariana. Right, let's go, Stanley. She's it.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Let's go to the meeting room.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Perhaps I missed a memo.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
Right.
he entered the door on his left.
There was... So I think... Oh my god, the amount of branches there must be. Because it's almost, what, the power of 2 each time? So if we go in here and then go up the stairs... I think that's kind of what we'll do. Since we made that first choice.
Yet there was not a single person here either.
There's not a single person here
Feeling
either.
a wave of disbelief,
I don't
Stanley
believe it.
decided to go up to his boss's office,
Let's go up to my
hoping
boss's
he
office.
might find an answer there.
Oh, you... Come on. If I want to be in the closet, I want to be in the closet. Wait.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nope. Oh, this is red as well. That's not good. Oh, okay. This is a different kind of red. It's regal red, not danger red. It's a safe place to come out of the closet. Oh, that's a stark change. Oh, God. Money in the mornings. Money in the evening. Money for breakfast. Money! Crisps. Okay. Stanley has no reflection. Stanley must be a vampire. That's why he can float. Stanley shut the door this time. Oh, Jesus. Mother trucker, you guys really don't have to do that. But thank you for the 3 months. It's much appreciated. Yeah. You guys really shouldn't. You guys are my friends. It's weird. Let's go to the open doors. It's a bit more inviting.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Yeah. How does Stanley know this? Oh my god. You especially shouldn't be doing this. But since it's Bezos bucks, that's okay.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Thanks, guys. Now look what you've done. It's a heist. Get to see my new little animation. Look, go rob that train.
2845.
All right, come on. We're doing other business right now. You're not the only one here. Stanley's here too. Oh.
But it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself, and Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
The narrator's getting... Oh my god. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even press the buttons, which was, I think, 2845, if my brain told me. Ooh, a facade. Are you guys just going to do one bit at a time for, like... Just... Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh my god. I don't have anything prepared. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'll be there in, like, a moment. I refuse to believe I hadn't even started. You guys are bullying me through kindness. Oh, for Pete's sake. I know there's actually supposed to be like a timer that times out like repetitive bitting, but I haven't turned it on, so you can play with that for a bit. Oh my god. Anyway, dad joke. I refuse to believe I was swimming in one of the longest rivers in the world. Turns out I was in denial. Denial. The Nile. It's a river. Yeah, there we go. Thank you, Mother Truck. Not Mother Truck, Rubber Ducky. Anyway, let's do this. For Pete's sake. Repeat joke from yesterday? Yeah, sorry. It was the closest one to the thing. To the top of my list. Does Stanley have a torch? Can the narrator give Stanley a torch? Because Stanley can't see fuck all. I'm hoping there's actually a floor here. I can't tell. Okay, so down is lit up. And up does nothing. I did use that one last night. Alright. Let me have a look. Yeah, take back.
Descending deeper into the building,
let's wait for the narrator to finish.
He felt a bit peculiar.
I feel a bit peculiar.
It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Okay, so I just got hired at a guillotine factory. I'll be heading there tomorrow. Huh? Huh? Oh look, Mother Trucker's up the game, up the ante. All you one-bitters. Oh, jeez. Okay, that was just the door or the lift breaking. Okay, Stanley wants to press his buttons.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Right, I feel like this is a trap. Don't know. Oh, God. Rude Stanley has beautiful melons. I just wanted to get to level 2 hype train. Alright. Yeah, I still don't know really how the whole hype train thing works, but I think it... Oh, that looks eerie. That looks Ghostbustery. Do we want safety or answers? Escape. How am I going to remember which... Wait. If flight is on... Call 914 immediately. Is there a phone? I'm gonna have to look through the VOD to remember what decisions I make. Let's go to the mic job facility. There's another camera. Well, I regret my decision, I think. Stanley regrets his decision. Oh, calm down, you. Calm down, Stanley.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
What
Did he
horrible
have
secret
the
does this place
strength
hold?
to find out?
Or would he simply jump to his death? I don't really want to just do that, though. Or would the narrator know? Oh. But it had a sound effect.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours. So here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more.
I hate the word content.
And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. The railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
Oh, we've received a level 1 hype train emote.
Good job, you did it. Good job, you did it.
There we go. Aren't we great? Amazing ending to the game. Cool. Well, thank you for watching. This has been the Stanley Parables. Oh god, alright. Come on, you. Let's go.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room.
Let's go to the
Perhaps
meeting
he had
room.
simply missed a memo.
I missed a memo. Good job, you did it.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He did. He was excited to get into the broom closet again. Where's my boss?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We get to go this way now. I mean, technically, yeah, this is the choice. The next choice that I made was going there or going here. Well, that's disturbing. Business strategy. Oh. Ooh. Okay, so going up. Does it say Stanley?
Step forward.
There's subliminal messages in here. I can hear them. Is it just... How far are we going? Oh, son of a bitch. This... No, it's all the same. You just... Oh, for Pete's sake. Oh, you... A waste of time.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling
that's
books
different.
off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation.
That's
But
different.
his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk.
What was it?
What
Was I
could
not
its
listening at the
purpose
time?
be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Stanley got his eerie feeling back. Wait, did that load last time? Again, I wasn't paying attention. I swear, if this turns into Alien Isolation, I'm going to cry after shitting myself.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility. The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold?
The size of the
thought to
TV,
himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
So, what I'm going to find fascinating is, once I've played through this and seen a lot of the endings, it's not going to be all of the endings, obviously, because it seems like there's going to be a ton. I wonder what speedrunners and like glitchers can do with this game, and if they're constantly like having a back and forth with the developers as they were making it.
Now the monitors jumped to
God.
life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
What number were we? Not that they're in. Oh, they are in order. Weren't we like 2 something? 2, 4 something? I can't remember. $204? So it goes from 1 to 600 and a fire. There's another fire up there. I can't read that one. Ooh. 2 04 up there. Can't quite tell what that is. Oh, 427. 427. Four two seven. Oh, right in front of us. Oh, yep, that's our office. Okay. I'm sure there's hundreds and hundreds of Easter eggs in this game, just by the nature of it, but...
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
God, there's not only 4 falls in this game, there's like 5th and 6th falls. Speaking of which, October is next week. You did say you'd play Alien Isolation. Did I? I don't remember that. I don't remember agreeing to that.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Would I? Oh, okay. I wish Stanley had a torch still. Okay, there's a big red pit of doom. Where did I come from? I came from that door, so that looks very inviting. Stanley can't see shit. Stanley wants to go upstairs. Stanley realizes there's a gate in the way. I suppose I should say outlaw, because... Hello? Oh, right, there's buttons all over the place. Okay. There's... You are Stanley. Stanley is you. Is it though? Is it? Mind control idle, awaiting input. I can't read that on my monitor.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
This place is awful. I can't stand for this.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
I want control of my life.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But
Thanks.
You need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system.
What?
In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind.
No.
What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
You power-hungry DM. You're just railroading me down your story.
Each one of them is. More time to talk about you.
You're an asshole.
Where we're going.
No.
This means I barely know where to start.
Stanley, run.
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are?
Yes.
A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story.
Incorrect.
Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Rich. I almost hate to see it
That's
go.
5.
But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this
Where's
so
number
much.
4? That looks like number
what?
4.
To hell with it.
The gates are
I'm
open.
going to put some extra time on the clock. Why not?
Oh, he's just playing with me
These
now.
are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I don't know if this is doing anything, but it's making me feel good about myself.
Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed
Shut
to be
up!
doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off?
Yes.
I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Once? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
No.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
Nope.
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
You're horrible, you power-hungry maniac.
Humble. This is not a challenge. It's
2.
a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just
Say
you
goodbye.
being blown to pieces. Will you cling desperately to your frail life, or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice.
I don't
Make
know.
it count, or don't. It's all the same to me.
Is there anything
All a part
different
of
in
the
this
journey.
room?
And
Can you
believe
do
me,
anything
I
here?
will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say happily ever after.
No. Well, I suppose it would be that quick. Well, how many lives is that now? Like 3? 4?
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others, wherever they were. Just a matter of time.
Matter of time? He didn't say that last time, did he? It did ask me to input the time on the clock, but these clocks are all still. I don't know what to believe anymore.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But there's also still the other opportunities in the other side. Like the escape one. or pressing. He was an arsehole. Flip a coin. That's a good idea. Oh, I got my coins here. My D&D tray. Right. So, it's got snakes and birds. Snakes are left, birds are right. You're just going to trust me. Snakes. So, I guess we'll go this way and we'll go to the escape one. Where is everyone? Blah, blah, blah.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Let's go to my boss's office.
The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks.
Right.
Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone?
That's
This was
different as
too
well.
much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I'm so intrigued about, like, the making of this game now already, and I think we've only just scratched the surface. Like, how much dialogue does this guy have? Because, like, entering the office there said the same thing, but like had the same outcome, but it was just narrated.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No, he didn't. Farewell.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
No. Can't believe everything that he says. He's just trying to guide us into the
The door
his
behind
story.
him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
This is on track. You can't railroad me.
At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Nope. Maybe. God, if they did make a horror game out of this, it would be horrible. I'm not gonna die. Oh, that does look a long way down. Luckily, Stanley has suspension for knees. Stanley does not have suspension for knees. Oh, Stanley might have suspension for knees.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
My life has been of no consequence whatsoever.
Picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief.
Who has a machine like this in their building?
Stanley.
Why? I want to push buttons. Oh, hello.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Oh. Heh. Fuck you, narrator. He still wants me to go this way. Oh.
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
I'm so confused. I've seen this staircase before. I'm pretty sure Neo was fighting on this staircase in the second Matrix.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
It's very poignant that we played this straight after Outer Wilds, where it was repeating itself as well. Oh, it's the office layout. I think. Yeah. Well, there you go, the office layout, well done. There's Stanley's office. He walks through here and then realizes there's no one here. He then goes to the meeting room. The meeting room is where it ends. The two doors. Set of two doors. Opens doors, the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable was design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it. An exploration of the contraction this room posed. Oh. I mean, that is the first conscious decision, so that makes sense. Oh, these are all the paintings in the office. Stanley's computer? Yeah. I just want to be here pressing buttons. The office. Oh, right. These are like style options. Okay. It's my desk, or like a desk. Filing cabinets, yes. Office computers. Check. The buttons. Ooh, what's it say about the buttons? Button sounds. A section of sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. Ooh. I think 2's my favorite. One's horrible. 3's okay. 4's very, what was it? Analog space adventure. And that's modern sci-fi. And that's just satisfying. Okay. Oh, that's the credits. Well done, Kevin. You're doing very good. Very good job. Would this... I guess this would be considered another ending, maybe? The office. Maintenance room. This game is intriguing. Ultra Deluxe announcements. In December 2018, we announced the Ultra Deluxe version of Stanley Parables. These are screenshots of videos. We made an announcement, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Fun. hope there's no spoilers for, like, Warzone. Tron? Man, that's a 2001 PlayStation bike. In early development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build it that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone of the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. Okay. I hope there's not spoilers for the rest of the game in here, because I feel like I've just wandered it. Maybe the correct way might be a how do you make a JPEG? What's the difference between... Okay. Narrator emails. After the second trailer was sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional material, we never found the perfect use for them. Are you a rock? There's so many. Okay, more. 427. Stanley's office. From left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. The first was created in 2011, the second 2012, and the third 2013. If Stanley just has to push buttons, why does he have so many filing cabinets? And who puts a filing cabinet in a corner where you can't open it? Stanley does. Game design mockup. Why did I hear something then? That's the lift. Oh. Monitor room elevator. Freedom ending? I guess that's considered like the best one, I guess. Unless, I mean, this could all just be meta as well. I could just be being led astray. Countdown room. The game is now paused. Begin the game again. Okay, I'll just... This is the ending model. Went through many iterations. This room represents the fourth version of the ending. And we went to complete. But decided to abandon and change it again shortly after lunch. Big red button. That's getting pushed at some point. I don't know if I should be here yet. Or at least I should have experienced other things first, but it wasn't exactly hard to get to. Trailers. It's funny how they've made a game out of their history. Okay, I don't... What am I hear? Oh, it's the clock. The flippy clock. Why is it counting down? Okay. The pump timer. I mean, this isn't technically an ending yet. Why is there a projector here? Oh, it's just a meeting room stuff. Obey, disobey, maintenance lounge. The first choice. God. Where are we now then? We went... We went disobey again. No, sorry. We went obey, but then we went... Other entrances hidden depending on how you entered. Vent. I'm so confused. Okay. Oh, that's back to there. So... Am I stuck in here? Oh, no, I didn't go this way. Stanley is very confused. Boss's office. Screens from the development of the office. I mean, that one would be intimidating. The lounge. Underground.
Supposed to be in the story. Then he pushed the number 8. And finally, he pushed the number 9. Stanley stood on the roof.
Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly 3 separate times over the 2 years of development. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
The big red button.
Nah, he got paid.
The big red button.
I still don't know what the difference between the regular edition and the deluxe edition is. More freedom ending. Ooh. Oh wait. Okay, so it's back up here. Oh, exit. Okay, I didn't see that before. Wait, did we not go down here?
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
I guess.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen.
God. Oh no.
Listen to me.
Wait.
You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true
I don't know. If I quit, do I just quit?
choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh, well. See, I don't know. This game is so weird that if you escaped at that moment that it told you and exited the game, would it have exited the game or would it have done something else? Oh my god, this is gonna... For someone who likes to be like a completionist and like see all the things, this game is already nuts.
Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure.
No,
What if
Stanley
he had
couldn't.
to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait.
Yep.
Nothing will hurt me.
Can sit in my chair.
Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
Yep.
Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer.
Yep.
Here it comes.
What? Oh. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Already this was uncomfortable, and Stanley decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Oh, is it reacting to like the last way I played it? This game is fascinating, but also frustrating. Very much like Outer Wilds.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right, so it was that way. We then went up to the office. We go through the thing. We go downstairs. We did practically everything on the right that we could think of. Well, I don't know the button. Oh no, we didn't actually turn the machine off. Let's go do that. Stanley is confused. Where is everyone?
Yet there was not a single person here either.
Not a single
Feeling
person
a wave
here.
of disbelief,
can't
Stanley
believe it.
decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Here's my boss's office. Right.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
All right, we've heard that one.
What could it mean, he wondered. Desperate for answers,
there was
he
two-
began turning the room over, looking for clues that might unravel the situation. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Oh my god! Why does it know everything I'm gonna do? And how does it know when
Feeling
I
soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
There must be so many different voice lines. Which one was the coward's ending? The flipping the switch that I just did. I'm getting the switch, I guess.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I think that had every option. There was only really a straight line. It was only if we pressed escape and left was the only thing it suggested.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
You haven't
Did
even
he
gotten
have
to the
strength
new
to
stuff.
find out?
Coward's ending is staying in the office. Oh, right, okay. Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
All right, come on.
The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
So it's funny because there was a time not long ago that mainstream media would be shitting on games. For example, like games are childish and they're not really worth like the same as a movie, like a well-written movie or anything. But could you tell this story in a movie? No, because you can't have the different decisions and choices. A movie is a set path. Yes, you could show a character sort of looping through time and stuff, but you won't get the same effect. It's very fascinating.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had
It can't be
Stanley
true.
really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it.
I
He
refuse.
couldn't accept it.
I
His
can't
own
accept it.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was
Never.
unthinkable. Wasn't
can't
it?
think it.
Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the
Like, this
cold
must do
reality of his
something.
past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power
Never
over
again.
another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and
I
for
will
all.
dismantle them. Let's see if the DM railroads us. I mean, to be honest, he said that we should turn them off, so we are technically playing his game at that point. Okay. Was that an ending full stop?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
Yep.
Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Yeah.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command.
Freedom ending?
Freedom was mere moments away.
Yeah.
And yet, even as
Oh,
the
yeah.
immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps
Oh.
his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
So that's doing something that I've been told to do. I agree. Seems sus. I mean, surely it doesn't know that I'm going backwards, does it? I wish Stanley had a bloody torch. Ugh, the pipe. Oh well. Stanley had no other choice, apparently. Even though this was technically a choice I made.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yeah. Well done, Stanley. Surely nothing can go wrong now. Oh. I just got the achievement, beat the game. Complete the Stanley Parables. This doesn't look like completion. I guess that's like the main ending? I don't know.
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing?
Oh, this game's too clever for its own good.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So, for obvious choices, I think we've done most of the ones on the left. So it's time to disobey and go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yep. Have you seen the employee lounge? Core. I get to walk through it at least twice a day.
Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yep. I mean, look at this. It's got like a 2-level effect. It's like the closest equivalent to a conversation pit that you'd get these days.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Motherfucker, I'll probably pop on in a bit. I'll probably finish this one and head over.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality.
I beg your
It's
pardon.
possible that this is why everyone left.
Oh, that's rude. I'm going to stay here for one more.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Surely there's got to be one after that as well. It's got to get impatient. Unless it's waiting me out. Alright, fine.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Oh, new choice. Ooh, look. The outside world. Oh no, it's not the outside world.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
If you're lying right now, stop. Okay. That's a key card. I'm not sure this is a game for like items and things. Do not jump from the cargo lift while it's in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, 1,000. Penalty for jumping off cargo lift, 5,000. Can't tell me what to do.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Right. Okay, we're going to stop there because there's a lot of decisions to do after that point. What, for jumping off the lift? I wasn't immediately defiant, so I'm definitely, once I've sort of played this game as much as I can without it being, well, too repetitive. I'm gonna have great fun looking through YouTube videos and things like that to see all the other things about it. Right, but we will stop there for now. I'm intrigued to see if that moment where it says press the thing and quit the game, if that was a fake exit screen and I was about to do something else instead, that would be amazing. But yeah. Right, I assume that saves automatically anyway. Let's go to the roll. Yeah, so, okay. I know I had a little time off of streaming stuff and things, but we will probably pick it up a bit more now. I'm not around tomorrow because I am playing Warhammer all day. And then have a guest round Sunday. So I'm not sure if we'll get to do anything Sunday. And then it's usual routine Monday. I suppose I could do something in the early afternoon. Or late afternoon, early evening. How's the diving going? So I was meant to go to my double session today. So it's about an hour and a half's drive away on a clear road. And as I went to set off, I was at my usual time to get there. I was already 10 minutes late, despite usually getting there half an hour early. And then by the time I just got to the roundabout at the end of our road, the timer jumped to an extra half an hour. So something had happened on the M25, so I wasn't able to go today. Just the roads were a complete mess, apparently. Luckily, I caught it spiking up in time before I'd even got on the motorway, so I came back and gave up. But I had a good session on Wednesday. Wednesday sessions are more self-motivated. There's not so much a tutor as such. I'm still not very graceful at it, but I'm getting there. No real splats last time, so that was good. Right, I'm going to go find some food, and then we'll probably join the Dinklebean lot on Izonzo, or whatever it's called, just for some shooties. That, or I might play some Helldivers, because I've been back in the swing of that for a bit. So, Ashura, the lovely Ashura, being the lovely person that they are, have gifted me the expansion, or the DLC for Outer Wilds. So I'm very keen to play that. So we'll piss around on the Stanley Parables until we've beaten it to death and like flogged it for all it's worth. And then we'll pop back to Outer Wilds to play that, because I don't want any spoilers. And now that I've been Googling other Outer Wilds stuff, spoilers for the DLC are like on the fringe of my searches, so I kind of don't want to spoil it. So I'm going to play that sooner rather than later. But we'll break it up by doing the Stanley Parables a bit more first. So yeah, I will catch you guys maybe Sunday evening or Monday late afternoon, early evening. Thanks for coming back, guys, and thank you for all the returning resubscribing chaps. You really don't have to. I'm doing this for fun, but I do appreciate it nonetheless. Right, chaps, I'll catch you maybe on Izonzo, or I will catch you those times I said. Right, catch you later, guys. Love and peace.